What's up, Motorheads, and welcome back to Gearbox Pizza. Real quick, if I'm sounding a little different, well, it's that jerk COVID getting all up in my face and making it hurt just a little bit. Anyway, we got some news today, so let's go. Alright, so let's start off with the Ford F-150 Lightning. So last week, Ford published EPA estimated range numbers, and there's a little bit of good news. So before now, Ford has been quoting, quote unquote, up to 300 miles of range with the big boy 131 kilowatt hour extended range battery. Well, they've upped that to about 320 miles for the XLT, the Lariat, and the Pro trims. And if you're going to stick with that range-topping Platinum trim, well, range stays about the same, down about 300 miles. Then there's that base 98 kilowatt hour battery, and here you're looking at 230 miles of range. All right, so look, that's mostly good news. I mean, more range is better, right? Yeah, cool. Although none of these seem to fix that crazy pricing structure Ford has seemed to roll out for this guy. I've been so mega stoked for a long time. I mean, this was supposed to be the rebirth of Ford, the Model T of the electric revolution. Well, go ahead and load up that configurator and build yourself one. Not just one, but the one you want. And look, you're gonna be looking at like 80 grand real quick. I mean, come on, Ford, give us an affordable version with a big battery, please. All right, so moving on to Tesla, and we got some pretty great news out there from Germany. Yes, the Giga Berlin is up and running and cranking out EVs around the clock. Look, Elon was just there to hand over 30 Model Y performance crossovers to customers at the opening ceremony. And this is a big deal. It is. Look, Europe is going all in with EVs, and now Tesla should have the capacity to supply our pals over there with just like an endless stream of electron burning people movers. So previously, Tesla's been shipping cars from China to Europe to try to keep up with demand. Anyway, so check this out. At full capacity, Giga Berlin's gonna be able to produce 500,000 cars a year. Yes, that's 500,000 cars, which is awesome. Good work, Elon. Way to go, buddy. Oh, and Tesla just sent out invites to an event called Cyber Rodeo, which is gonna be the grand opening of the Gigafactory Texas. The event is gonna be on April 7th, but that's about all we know so far. That's pretty amazing to have two grand openings so close together. Look, I don't know, at this point, I think you gotta have to be a little nuts to bet against Tesla. And then Elon also dropped some big time goals on us, stating that he thinks Tesla can produce 20 million cars a year within 10 years. Yeah, look, I know that's super ambitious, considering last year they produced just shy of 1 million. But again, look, if anybody can ramp up production like that, I think it's Tesla. Let's just get that Cybertruck and Roadster going though. Let's focus on those. Come on, let's get those going. All right, so let's move on and let's talk Lucid real quick. So Lucid just confirmed that NVIDIA is gonna supply the software architecture for its quote unquote Dream Drive Pro system. That's kind of aiming to compete with Tesla's Autopilot. So this system's gonna use 14 cameras, 1 LiDAR camera, 5 radars, and 12 ultrasonic sensors. All right, look, it's gonna be interesting to see how this LiDAR versus no LiDAR thing plays out for sure. So Tesla is able to be the leader here without LiDAR, but they got by far the most data and power to feed their supercomputers to just like keep refining and refining that machine learning and AI that just powers all of this. Something I don't think any other automaker can really touch just yet. Oi, buongiorno bambini.
Buongiorno.
From our pals in Italia, we've got some Maserati news. So Maserati is planning on making full electric versions of all of its models by 2035. Right on. So to kick things off, there's gonna be 2 EVs available as soon as next year. There's the all-new Gran Turismo that's expected to debut in the next few months, and as you'd guess, there's gonna be an all-electric version of this thing. Now, there's very little information out about this fella, but it's gonna be offered with a traditional gas motor along with a hybrid motor, and then, yeah, you guessed it, the full electric version. It's also been rumored that the EV version is gonna be like the range topper, the fastest and most powerful version with potentially a triple motor setup that could produce about 700 horsepower. Oh, and get this, you'll be able to get this thing in a convertible. Yeah, an electric convertible. That's pretty awesome. Look, without thinking too hard, yeah, look, there's just not a lot of electric convertibles out there at like any price. So This is cool. Speaking of price, there's no info, but look, it's not gonna be cheap. I know, another 6-figure EV. All right, the other EV, look, it might be a little bit less, you know what, actually might be more exciting depending on like what you're into, but anyway, I don't know. Anyway, it's the Grecale. Yes, the new Maserati SUV. It's about here, and like the Gran Turismo, this will be offered as a gas-powered ute first, and about a year later, you'll be able to get the electric version. Oh, by the way, all electric Maseratis, they're gonna use this Folgore name as a sub-brand, meaning lightning in Italian. Anyway, as you'd expect, there's not a lot of info available, but we do know a few things. Battery-wise, Maserati is promising a pretty hefty 105 kilowatt-hour battery. And the motors, look, we're just not sure, but all-wheel drive is going to be standard, so we're looking at a minimum of 2 motors, but we really think there's going to be an option for 3. There's also no horsepower figures to be found anywhere, but Maserati said this thing's going to generate up to 590 pound-feet of torque. It's pretty good. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty fast 6-figure Italian electric SUV. Look, how crazy would that sentence have sounded 20 years ago, man? Anyway, so the very top end of the EV market is just filling up. I mean, it's pretty insane when you think about all the $100,000 plus EVs we're about to have. And if you like electric cars, this is a good time to be rich, isn't it? All right, so moving on, and now, well, we gotta talk Rivian. So if you were unaware, Rivian came out and raised prices across the board, and not just a little bit. The R1T got a 17% price bump, and the R1S got about a 20% price bump. For some real numbers, the base price of the R1T, well, it was like 67 grand, and now it's almost like 79 grand. The R1S was about 70 grand, and now it's like 84 grand. Oh, and now they're offered with a dual motor option instead of the quad motor, along with a new smaller battery pack that's gonna drop that range down to 260 miles. Look, yeah, I get it. More options are better, but as a consumer, it just sort of feels like, oh hey, for the same money, now you get 2 fewer motors and 60 miles less range. I mean, am I wrong? I don't know. Look, as you can imagine, people were a little PO'd, okay, maybe a lot PO'd. So much in fact that Rivian CEO RJ Scarnage had to backtrack on the price increase for people who placed their orders before March 1st. Look, it's the right move. I don't really want to beat him up too much for this, but yeah, look, Rivian was almost, dare I say, a bargain, and now they're kind of just another, it's just super expensive EV, but it's all right. All right, so how about some Cadillac news? So the Cadillac Lyriq has officially entered production, which is a little bit of a surprise because it's actually ahead of schedule. What is this, an EV that's ahead of schedule? That's crazy, but yeah, that's what it seems to be. I mean, production wasn't supposed to start until the end or kind of late 2022, yet here we are. All right, so Mark Rose, if I'm saying that right, I don't know, look, the president of GM kind of dropped this quote, which I thought was kind of cool. So, quote unquote, this is bringing Cadillac back to leadership, back to tier 1 luxury, and really getting an American luxury brand recognized and highly desirable, both from a design, technology, and engineering standpoint, and end quote. So that's cool. All right, we like the Lyriq, and we really like the starting price that's under 60 grand, but look, keep in mind that's for the entry-level rear-wheel drive version. This debut edition, well, it's gonna have a 100.4 kilowatt-hour battery, and GM's targeting about 300 miles of range. Power for this fella is coming in at 340 horsepower and 324 pound-feet of torque. All right, not bad. I mean, look, it's not amazing or anything, but it's 60 grand. I mean, these are good numbers, right? Look, this fella can also charge at up to 190 kilowatts at a fast charger, but at home, it can charge at a pretty speedy 19.2 kilowatts, meaning in the garage, plug this thing in, you get 52 miles of range per hour. That's solid. All right. Oh, and check out this dashboard screen. Yes, it is mega, like 33 inches. Another interesting note is that Cadillac is no longer doing reservations. As of May 19th, you'll have to just go ahead and order it. So, you know, look, with with pretty much all EVs right now, demand is way stronger than supply or manufacturing ability. So if you haven't ordered one already, I mean, just get ready to wait, I guess. All right, guys, look, that's about it for now. I think this is about all my voice can really kind of just handle. Thank you for hanging out, and look, don't forget to hit that sub button, and we will catch you soon. Thank you.